you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. Now, my thing is collaborating again, so I appreciate it. And the person I was wanting to introduce with the respect it deserves is Mr. Uche Okugo. Now, Mr. Uche Okugo is a powerhouse in economic development and social entrepreneurship. He's been doing this for many, many years. His work spans many, many cities within Canada, and I'm sure in Nigeria as well. So he is the founder and president of the Network of Nigerians in Canada, championing cultural unity and professional growth. He is a community builder, the past president of the Brampton Toastmasters, Rotary Club of Brampton, incoming Rotary District Governor of 2026 and 2027. He's a civil engineer with an MBA and holds many, many credentials in leadership, strategy, financial training, and economic development. Over the years, he's proven himself with his track record in forging economic bridges, which makes him a go-to voice, a go-to person when it comes to inclusive growth and diaspora-powered entrepreneurship. So it is my aim to welcome him to the stage to speak a bit on his experience and what it means to be a diaspora in Canada. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Uche.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How many of us was thrown off by the construction this morning? Okay, so I bring you greetings from Brampton. I actually got into London at exactly 8:45 a.m. When I got hit by the construction, Google Map was losing its mind. It kept turning me around, and I finally got this place by 9:15. So I know. And I also know that time has been fast spent. So I'll just try to run through these as quickly as I can, make my points, and hopefully we'll achieve more when we network, ask questions, share comments, and grow. The one thing I have gotten out of this morning since I came in here was I met some people and we just networked. And the summary of what we talked about is that there's power in collaboration. It's what we need right now more than ever. We don't see that happening much in our community, but we do need to collaborate. And so in this room, I see us first as one family. Because for us to be here together means we have an agreement. In our minds, we've agreed that we believe in building bridges. We believe in building legacies. I belong to an organization called Rotary International. It's 1.4 million people and we're worldwide. They've been around since 1905 and they have always existed. Now, that is possible because despite the diversity, talking about one organization in over 200 countries, is because everybody in that organization is united by the ideal of service. So no matter where you are, no matter what you do, service guides us, service unites us. So for us here, I will assume that building bridges, leaving legacies behind, unites us as well. Am I good to go with that agreement?
Yes.
So moving forward, everything will be a function of what do we do to ensure that collaboration for our community makes sense. I'll just quickly give some data and then we'll take it from there, just to begin to set our mindsets to the part where this can work. Because it has worked for others, it is actually working for some in our community, it will definitely work for us collectively in the long run. Over the last few years, immigration into Canada has really grown. And it has made the diaspora a very strong force. Now, I know that most of us here are Nigerians, but even for other communities, you can also relate with your community. Now, let's play our power back home. So in 2024, Nigeria received an estimated $21 billion diaspora funds. It is no small money. Talking about Nigerians all over the world. Sent monies back home that amounted to $21 billion in 2024. Now, this represents a 9% increase from 23, and it represents almost 9% increase as well from, 37% remittances from the entire sub-Saharan Africa. So Nigeria is a big player when it comes to remittances back home. Sub-Saharan Africa makes up about 49 countries. So it's a very big deal for us. And most of us use all these fintech apps. So most of those transactions were done using those fintech apps. So for our small businesses, for our entrepreneurs, thank you very much for providing something that is working for us right now. Now, let's play this back home in Canada. That amount of money, 10% of it actually came from Nigerians in Canada. That is $2 billion. Pause to think about it. Nigerians in Canada sent money back home that amounted to $2 billion. Now, what does that mean? It means we truly have financial willpower in Canada. But why does it look like nothing much is happening for us as a community? Despite that kind of financial willpower, why does it look like we are struggling, like we are still trying to get there, when we actually have a key resource that makes any one community powerful? Now let's look at the role of community. Martin Luther King puts it very clearly. He said, no one is an island. That means no matter who you are, no matter where you are, we need each other to survive. We need each other somehow. Imagine if I had come in here and there was nobody to talk to. That's community. That's needing one another. But there's a way to put that together. Now in Canada, we must continue to strengthen our associations, our churches, our professional groups, and our cultural organizations. These are the ecosystems that can truly birth ideas, support us as we grow, and legacies are nurtured in these spaces as well. Now, 2 days ago back in Brampton, because that is still where I live, I attended the flag raising of the Pakistani community. I know, some of them for quite a while, but 2 days ago I just stood and I was watching this crowd. Over 200 people came for their flag raising. It was just a 15-minute event, but they were there on time, they were there in very good numbers. And in my head, I just pictured how much this one community has grown. I mean, they have a thriving and rapidly growing small business base. They also have attained heights in getting political offices. So they have members of provincial parliament, members of parliament, they've got senators, and right now one of their sons is Canada's president of the treasury. He's the man that signs all the checks for Canada, Pakistani community. And in my head, I'm like, what are they doing differently that we cannot do? And we have similarities. So their population, for example, back home is about 250-ish million people. Nigeria is about 230 million people. Even here in Canada, their population is 300,000. Nigerians are over 200,000 as well. But you can't compare the rate of their entrepreneurial and small business-based growth. You just can't. So what exactly are some factors that either makes this possible or affects this? Number one, cultural integration for business. You cannot take away the place of one's immediate community. And let's break it down to the Nigerian community. How often do you really see us work together effectively? Oftentimes, we spend so much time doing parallel things over a long period of time. Even when it is time to step up, we are still just here. Because there is no cohesion. Everybody wants to do something that is new. But meanwhile, that new thing in code isn't really new after all. Somebody is either doing it before or somebody else is doing it. It just needs you to key into it. But no, it is my thing. Let me just do my own first. And then you find that we spend so much time with so many do my own first, and it's taking so much time. Even when people are waiting for us to step up, we don't step up. But for some reason, these other communities are actually doing it very well, especially the small business groups. And in Canada, small businesses are the lifeline of this country. So I'll just say, please, put your hands together for our small businesses behind. I see them here. Thank you very much. So small businesses actually employ about 65% of Canada's workforce. That's 11 million people. So this nation does not play with small businesses. I can tell you, the support structure for them is phenomenal. But the Nigerian business community is not keen into that as well. I'll give a quick example. How many of us know FACE here? Federation for African Canadian Economics, FACE. So they are sitting on $160 million for black businesses from the federal government. And I tell you, we haven't even scratched the surface of that fund yet. It's just there sitting down. They're practically begging for businesses to come and access that funds. But no. The most that have accessed that funds are from the Caribbean community, most other countries, but our small businesses are still trying to access that funding. So that is actually something we need to get into. Now, the government promotes diversity, they promote buy local, What we as a community needs to do is to organize local markets, fairs, pop-up shops, pop-up events like these that will bring our small businesses together. And the onus lies on us to truly patronize those small businesses, get to find out their challenges, get to support them. It's a function of deliberate sacrifice. We need to get there. And also, it brings me to my next point, number 2, growing small business footprint as an immigration advantage. Now, the Asian community have figured this out. Aside from the fact that a small business base is growing, they actually use that as an advantage to grow their footprint. And this has tons of advantages. Now, according to Statistics Canada, South Asians have a high rate of self-employment and small business ownership compared to other groups. On a broader scale, this is for the GTA. Now, all over Canada, you actually have the Chinese, the Indian, and the Jewish communities do this as well. How are they doing this? For them, growing their small businesses is cultural. The average Asian, or I can be more specific, average Indian, average Pakistani, they leave their homes, they come here, and what's in their mind is to start a business. Self-employed, small business, entrepreneurship, they go into that full-time. And at the back of the mind also is, when I start this, I need to use this to support my brother, support my sister. And so they grow rapidly in that base. But in our community, we know the average Nigerian is a 9-to-5er. And it's also cultural because the average Nigerian is very educated. I once met a politician who said, she's a member of parliament now, a provincial parliament. They said the average Nigerian they've met comes in with at least a master's degree. That's not exactly common, right? So we come in here, and because of our professional background, look for jobs. It is mostly only when we don't get those jobs that we finally say, okay, let me start something to survive. Start a small business or a self-employment type thing. You actually see high-level professionals doing Uber because they've been pushed to the wall as it were. But the average Asian comes in here knowing that if I start now with my business, 3-5 years down the line, I would have found my footing. Why 3 years, 5 years down the line, the average Nigerian is still not trying to start something on a self-employment basis. Now, there are immigration pathways that favor business investment as well. India, the Philippines, and China represent the largest source of temporary foreign workers hired through LMIA. So the focus to bring in numbers is key, because with numbers, you can grow rapidly, you can engage. There's a lot you can benefit when numbers are taken advantage of. And these other communities have found a way around it. They bring their workers, they grow their numbers, and they position for opportunities. So what these guys do is when they come in here, they go to school, they end up getting better jobs, they end up starting their own businesses. It's not so for us. So we need to change that strategy. Our small businesses need to be supported to a point where we also would access LMI. It brings people in with their work visas. Once you get here, there's a lot you can do. Support the community, grow individually, grow collectively, and end up contributing or paying it forward. Now, let me share one story about the power of collaboration, and I'll just end with a summary. 100 kids were put in one room, and in another room, they put 100 balloons. The door that leads to the room where you have the balloons was open, and the 100 kids, so each balloon had the kids' names, right? The kids were told to go into that room and look for the balloon that has their name on it. And they gave them 1 minute. All the kids entered the room, and of course, as you can guess, chaos. Everybody was scrambling to find the balloon that had their names. So all you had happening was just balloons going off, popping here and there. And at the end of 1 minute, nobody could find your name. Because even when you found your name and held the balloon, somebody else would grab it from you, just to check if it's their own names. That failed. The same method was applied. 100 kids, 100 balloons. Only this time, they were told to look for a balloon, see the name on it, and give the balloon to the person whose name is on it. And they were given the same 1 minute. And they went into the room. So, if I grab a balloon, I'm just looking for somebody that has it. And they knew themselves. So it was easy for these kids to hand the balloon over to people. They were looking out for somebody else, as it were. And in less than 1 minute, everybody got the balloon that had their name on it. Because somebody else came into the picture to help, as it were. That's a sense of collaboration. That is what we're still not doing yet. We are successful individually, extremely successful. I give it to Nigerians, we are. But we are not successful collectively. And that is what we need. We save time, we achieve more, we get better, and externally, people see that about us and want to join us, and want to collaborate with us, and want to open their own doors for us. And I tell people, Canada is one nation that has opportunities if you choose to collaborate. Tons of opportunities. There's no nation like Canada when it comes to that structure. But you must first key into it. Some of us here are leaders, and you've had politicians come to you to say, what's going on? I get this request from one community 10 times. I don't even know who to say yes to. What's going on? Why can't you guys just come together and do something? And it's getting embarrassing. But that is where we need to be. Now, because of time, I know there's a panel discussion, there's room to network, so I'll leave most of my talking points for them. But in closing, I want each of us to reflect on this. What are we building? What legacy do we want to leave behind, or are we currently working on to leave behind? Let us commit to being more than just residents. We must be contributors, connectors, and change makers. We need to harness the power of our diaspora network, which is very rich, and uplift not just ourselves, but everyone else along the way. So if you're climbing the ladder, reach out and grab somebody else. Now, let us harness the power of our diaspora. Together, we can build bridges and span continents and create legacies that endure for generations. So reflect on this. As we continue in this program, we need to think about what you must do to carry somebody along, to work together, to drop selfishness, to enthrone sacrifices, so we can work together and achieve a collective good in our community. Some of us have tried, we are still trying, and we will not stop trying. Because I have a mantra. Things turn out best for those who make the best out of the way things turn out. Thank you very much.
Mr. Uche, thank you so very much for your words of inspiration and for speaking on your experience. I think you're well positioned to really bring that conversation and to show people real life examples. I love that the story you said about the kids and the 1 minute balloon. I need to try that somewhere and see how that actually works. Might just take some adults and see really what happens. But no, thank you for being an inspiration and for being a man of your word. You are walking your vision and you're walking your path. So thank you so much.